Why play Vel'Koz mid? Well, he has insanely long range. He brings great wave clear, his burst damage will one-shot targets, and he's great into both tanks and squishies. However, he lacks any additional mobility at all, and he is completely skill shot reliant, so can struggle against high mobility. Vel'Koz's passive is his abilities apply a stack of deconstruction onto targets. When the third stack is applied, all are consumed and a large amount of additional true damage is dealt. Vel'Koz's Q is a straight line skill shot which deals damage to and slows the first enemy hit. Upon hitting max range, or when the ability is reactivated, this ability will then split into two skill shots going off at right angles. Each of these new projectiles will still deal the same amount of damage and slow. Vel'Koz's W is a straight line rectangular skill shot which deals damage to all enemies hit. And then, after a short delay, this will then erupt, dealing even more damage to all enemies within. And this works on an ammo system where Vel'Koz can have up to 2 at a time. Vel'Koz's E is a skill shot which throws a circle on the floor. This circle will explode after a short amount of time, exploding faster the closer the ability is to you. Enemies hit are dealt damage, knocked up, and stunned. And if the enemy is close to Vel'Koz, they are also knocked back. Vel'Koz's ultimate has a passive where if he's activated his 3 hits passive on them, they become resurged. The active is a straight line laser beam which will root Vel'Koz to the floor while he channels it. This beam can be moved while using it, and it deals damage to and slows enemies hit while applying stacks of your passive. And if the enemy's been researched by already applying your passive, they take true damage instead. For combos, your go-to is to land Q and then follow up with W into E and an auto attack. After this, use your second W and then spam away with more attacks. Your massive burst combo is after landing Q to throw out your E and W into ultimate for massive damage. And your max range combo is to throw your Q at an angle and then just before it lands, use your ultimate to deal a ton of damage from very far away. For matchups, Vel can struggle against champions who can dodge his abilities and easily get onto him. And he's great into champions that usually rely on their range, being able to simply outrange them. For runes, take this. Your Q slowing makes Comet amazing. For build order, start Ring and Pot into a Luden's Companion and tier 2 boots. After this, a Storm Surge into Shadow Flame are great pickups before finishing your build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, if you need survivability, go Flash and Barrier, otherwise go Flash and Teleport. Starting the game, as the mid laner, your main focus is always going to be on farming. But the easiest way to get free farm is to poke your opponent out and take good trades. Vel'Koz can be incredibly frustrating to play against, as if you're not behind minions, he can simply throw his Q at you, and even if you are, he can still find the angle behind minions to get you. You will often find as Vel'Koz that you naturally push the wave out as your abilities will hit the minions as well, so make sure you keep up good defensive wards while throwing a ton of skill shots at your opponent. After you land Q, you always have the opportunity to go in with an E and W as well, and especially if you combine this with a second W, you'll have got your passive off twice, dealing a ton of damage. And when you hit level 6, as long as they're on about 70% HP, landing a full combo will simply remove them from the map. Entering late game teamfights, you want to play as the backline mage. If you land an ability on a backline carry, you'll simply half health them at this point in the game. However, with the large amount of true damage you bring, landing abilities onto tanks are also great value. So when a target's low enough, simply full combo them and ult them out the fight.